Death Valley, what might appear to be a desolate, unforgiving place, is actually an incredibly diverse landscape. High mountains, broad valleys, and hidden canyons full of discoveries waiting to be made. It's one of the few places you can get away from it all and find a spot all to yourself. We took 5 days in November and headed south. This adventure starts when we turn onto the Saline Valley Road. We spent the next 4 days off pavement, hiking, camping, cooking, and watching the stars. We hope you enjoy the adventure. All right, so we finally got off pavement. Left home last night or yesterday evening, drove pretty much till bedtime, and we just got off the pavement here in Death Valley.
And it's Thanksgiving and it's a beautiful blue sky day today. We've already had our turkey and cranberries for lunch, so we're off for adventure the rest of the day.
All right, we just aired down and we'll probably be driving for another hour or two before we set up camp, and we'll see you then. Well, I guess we have a habit, meaning to or not, spending Thanksgiving next to some kind of old vehicles. We were here a couple years back, different spot, completely different spot in the park, and spent the night next to an old roadster. Tonight we got the old, looks like dump truck. All right, so we've worked our way down the canyon a little bit from camp. What do you think?
It's beautiful. For a rock lover, I wish I would have brought a big bag.
Pretty cool canyon so far. Had to beat through a little bit of brush to get started, but pretty cool. All right, we've reached our turnaround point for the day. This canyon's coming into the side. Just had our lunch of Death Valley sausage right from the meat locker in Bend, Oregon, with the Carolina Reaper almonds and smoked pepper jack cheese. All good Death Valley lunch material. Unlike other national parks, Death Valley has few established trails. Instead, you're free to go where you like, wandering canyons, ridge lines, or game trails. Most places you'll be on your own. There are a lifetime worth of hikes for the adventurous. Today, we hiked the upper portion of Marble Canyon. There are several springs scattered throughout the canyon. A few even support cottonwood trees or willows. There are also interesting small waterfalls. Of course, they're not running most of the time, but during a flash flood, it would be interesting to see.
All right, so we're closing out our hike. It maybe was a little longer than what we had planned. I think we ended up going 12 miles round trip, so we're pretty beat, but we're back at the truck. Just had a nice cold cider. Sharon had her fill of rock gazing, and we're gonna go look for a camp. All right, so we thought we'd check in one more time. Sun just went behind the Sierras. We got a great view up here. We worked our way back up over Hunter Mountain, and there's a great forest of single leaf pinyon, one of my favorite trees. So we spent most of the day on a hike, and the best thing about coming to Death Valley and going on a hike is you don't see anybody, or at least we didn't today. We saw absolutely no one. Spent all day hiking. It was a great day.
And I was hoping for wildlife at least, because they're my favorite kind of people, and all we saw were signs of coyotes and sheep. But just a beautiful hike, and it's always amazing to me that the simple things in life are so perfect.
All right, so we're just gonna kick back and watch the rest of the sunset, and then cook up a dinner of flanking ribs, and probably be in the camper pretty early because as soon as that sun goes down, holy cow,
Freezing.
it starts to drop off in the temps. But really nice day today. Temps probably close to 60s, and we'll see you back again on day 3. Well, here's the view from camp this morning. Sun's up, we're up and rolling. Great view of the Sierras from Hunter Mountain. And we're just gonna whip up a quick breakfast, and then we're headed to Saline Valley. All right, after a couple hours of washboardy, rocky road, we are down in the bottom of Saline Valley, right on the salt tram line. So this is one of the towers here. There's a couple more that are leaning off in the distance. And then where did this tramway go? Well, right over the Inyo Mountains. Pretty awesome, huh? 1911 to 1930. 20 tons of salt a day over this mountain range. Pretty awesome. Something came before us. You have a pretty good guess of what. Greetings from camp on night 3. It took us the entire day to work our way across the Saline Valley out there, but we were able to successfully find another camp with an old broken car, as seems to be our theme for Death Valley. But anyway, that's the valley we come across, and we're gonna sit up here and watch the sun go down.
Because in the fall we really only have like 2 hours of daylight, so we had to hightail it to camp on a slow-moving road.
Yep, I don't think anything rattled off the truck today, but we got passed by a lot of other people, Jeeps especially, but seems like we were the slow ones on the road today. But we took our time, saw a lot of cool stuff, saw a lot of side canyons we'd like to explore, but we wanted to make progress getting across the valley too. So anyway, we had fun checking things out, especially the dunes.
Yes.
And we're going to go for maybe just a little walk up one of these canyons before it gets dark. Good morning from Death Valley. Put the bacon on the grill. Coffee's finished brewing. It's National French Toast Day, so we're breaking out the loaf of homemade sourdough, and we're going to start the morning off like that. Sun came up maybe 20 minutes ago, and we're going to hit the road here probably a half an hour, and we're hoping to make it up to Eureka Dunes before our final stop of the trip.
Oh my stars. Just climbed up this dune here at Eureka Dunes. Pretty cool.
It's our last stop here of our, I guess, 4-day trip through Death Valley. We got one more day, but that's just going to be a drive home. So, yeah, Eureka Dunes. We're halfway up, but I think that's about as far as we're going to go, just because we're already kind of running short on time. But it's pretty cool dunes. There's a few folks around out here, but it's not too crowded. Great views of the mountains, and there's the rest of the dune. Pretty awesome. No humming today though. I guess these dunes hum when the sand shifts, but not today.
Shadows. Sadly, it's time to air up and go back on the pavement. It's been a great long weekend.
I know you were wondering about it. What's the canned meat of the trip? This trip is brought to you by smoked coho salmon from Chuck's Seafood in Charleston, Oregon. Just made a little bit of a salmon wrap as we head up the road out of the park. All right, the trip didn't quite end at Death Valley. We headed north about an hour and a half, and we are now at T1, also known as tub number 1. Looking forward to a soak in Benton Hot Springs in tub number 1 tonight. Finish off our trip. It's been a great one, just a little too short, like all the good trips are. See you on the trail.